I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Aaron. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. Farewell. I can smell them on the dry winds. Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollolands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. For now, then.
Welcome. The Motus miners have told me all about you. I'm Vincent Helvarn, Edgar Aaron's former assistant and facilities manager. I'll continue to run the mining office for you, if you'll allow it. Come and go as you please, the building is yours to use. And if it doesn't suit your tastes, with some spare coin, I can arrange for renovations. Yet another place of mystery that I'd rather be much farther away from. The Hollowlands are death trap enough as it is. The Motus miners feel indebted to you. They've offered to work your mine, for a sliver of your overall profit, of course. Beastly creatures stalk near those caverns. They're not fey, and they're definitely not natural. You could pay me enough to get close to there. I wish it were somewhere far from here. The Hollowlands are dangerous enough without them. I locked myself in here while Edgar was hatching his schemes. I knew it would come to violence at some point. He was hell-bent on getting even with Motus. Anyhow, what's past is past. You need a manager for this building while you're away, and I'll do it for a small fraction of what you earn. Speak to me if you want work done on this building, or if you'd like to collect a profit. Sorry, boss. We haven't yet sold off what we've produced. Check back later and I'll have your money. If you have enough gold, I can clean this place up and furnish it with goods from across the land. I'll get right to work. It'll look brand new before you know it. can't believe old Edgar had been causing all this trouble in the area. People died on account of him. Sad. With a bit more gold, we can improve the facilities even more. Time to get to work. Oh, you'll love it. How goes the splunking? I've kept things pristine here at home. For a tad bit more gold, I can add on another room for more storage space and furnishings that'll make an emperor drool. It'll be ready in no time. When we're done, you'll own the finest building in all the Hollowlands. Greetings. Hail, friend. The gnomes at Modus Mining mentioned you'd be opening a mining site here. That's all well and good, but I can help you make the most of it. For a small sum, I'll renovate this mine for you, make it bigger. In the long run, you'll earn more money out of it. What do you say? That's me, Master Architect at your service. Your friends at Modus Mining sent word to me that they were helping you open a site here. For a little bit of gold, I'll help you get this dump running more efficiently than Edgar Aaron ever managed to. No one I know of has scaled it all the way, so there's no knowing for sure what's up there. Heard everything, from it's the home of a powerful mage, to it's the cradle of civilization itself. Sometimes in the same breath. There's an adventure to be had at Cloudcrest's Peak, I'm sure. There are bad goings on at the caverns. The miners have all, one time or another, seen wretched, scarred creatures that walk on two legs pacing at the entrance. If you give me the gold, I can start clearing out one of the collapsed passages in the mine. I'll start cleaning out the passage right away. Who knows what we'll uncover in there? I can't believe Edgar put the miners through that. He was always about taking the fight back to the competition, but I didn't think he meant to take their lives. There's no excuse for it. Motus's business practices aside, he had no right. Thank you for righting his transgressions. For another bit of gold, I can clear out the next section of the mine. We'll have this place running at full capacity in no time. Hey, boss. Do you need me to do any work on the mine? Just a little more gold and we can open up the last section of the mine. This will be about all we can extend the mine. We've run out of room in the cavern. Desert is as unforgiving as it is blistering.
It's amazing that the Fae can flourish in such a warm environment.
hyena, and her plumage burst into flames. She flew high to cool her feathers and dove to extinguish the fires. Still nothing would cease the burning, and she knew that she was doomed. So she absorbed as much of the heat of the sun and the spirit of fire as she could, and fell dead to the earth. Now, only her bones remain, but she will rise again if life is threatened in the Hollow Lands.
Among echoes of golden coasts and silver seas, Lyria drew near. She saw the priestess asleep, reclined on dark earth amidst the cypress trees. Under the gleam of heaven's dusk reflected, the mirror that tantalized the stars, Lyria whispered to Tyrion, "On rocky spur of sable stone shall heaven's mount prove, is a seat of elegance near kin, a shard of light to glisten in the foam, a spire dripped in the sky's veil. There, and so awoke the last calm and majestic, see the cliffs against the coast, and Lyria's throne before her.
Like the wind, or the lightning, or the dawn. With his presence, a new age began. The kings of the south stood. They were the lords of the desert sea.
The great cycle brought powerful magic to Amalur. The arcane veil begat King Isa's reign, and all things in balance, also its destruction. The seasons passed, the summer wilted into autumn, and Lord Olm culled his strength. King Isa's sway receded, as does the shade at noon. The Feylands rested from their sprouting, and a haze of indolence silenced the woods. When the winter moon waned, it began. Terrible thunder rolled across the darkened plains of Erether.
Need a quieter step?
Always open for business. When the road is your marketplace, are you looking to buy items or sell them? Always looking to make a bit of coin?
First, he made the river in the arc of the great snake-tail. When that grew tedious, he turned his attention to the cliffs, the dunes, the depths.
Normally, I'd advise you to take a leap off that ledge, but at the moment, I find myself in need of aid. Don't think you'll get anything out of it, though. I certainly won't teach you anything. An old man who's had his fill of the world. It possesses a certain remarkable beauty that is hard to appreciate with a wounded leg. Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. Damned kobolds is what. Poison spear to my leg and it's begun to fester. There are things for it, easy to gather myself. If I could walk. Foul stuff. I never touch it. The natural course of healing's best, if you ask me. I'd be grateful, but don't expect any wisdom or a fine-crafted gift. Hermits have little to give. I'll need spider sack ichor, fenrack from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's cookpot. Can you get me those? Before the gnomes opened up that damned mine, wasn't a single one in Menethir. Meddlers, that's what they are. Always think they know best, but they never do. Believe me. Off in the southeast among the hills, overrun now with those spear-hefting overgrown cats. I'd keep my distance if I were you. Ah, some spider sack ichor, fenrack leaf from the canyon below, and grist from a Jotun's pot. How many times must I repeat it? Oh. About bloody time. Spider gland for the festering, fenrack for the pain, and Stugers to keep my strength up. You've done me a good turn, stranger. I live a hermit's life, so have little to give. I hope you'll take this as thanks. You'll get nothing else. An old man who's had his fill of the world. What a great and austere beauty it holds. A beauty best enjoyed alone. Once in a while, some fool comes to plead on bended knee for lessons. Bah! If you don't know, there's no use telling it. What, you surely ask, is such a well-heeled Praetorian doing here among the dust and brambles? Removing the tarnish for my name and solving the Jotun problem. Grand to behold, but lousy with Jotun and spiders and gods know what else. Makes me think the Warsworn put their blasted keep here out of sheer bloody spite. Overlooked. Ignored. Once I've settled this Jotun problem, my Praetorian friends will be humming a different tune. I am, you see, ranked Decanus. That is above Auxiliary, where I serve my time, and beneath Centurion, which is where I belong. We'll never know if the mine collapsed because of the kobolds, or if the kobolds got in because of the collapse. Either way, it's theirs now. Their keep is hard to miss. It sits on Menethir like an Etin on a pile of bones. The old Ragnar has died, and his successor is stirring the embers of war. But he's too clever to openly provoke the Warsworn, so he's attacking gnomes instead. That will not stand. I have a plan to settle this, but it requires someone of both delicacy and grit. Priest, apothecary, and spiritual guide to Jotunkind. The old Ragnar ruled all the Jotun in these heights and the mountains beyond. If this upstart stirs all of them to war, things could go badly for everyone. The Warsworn have their place in my plan, but not yet. Coaxing the Ragnar to show his face requires a subtlety that our local Castellan lacks. Yes, I think you do. First, we must find some new and better enemies for the Jotun. Go into Tyrscotter Mine, southeast of here, and steal the clan totem from the kobolds that dwell there. then return to me. To reclaim it, the kobolds will fight to the death, and as for the Jotun, well, one thing at a time. There's a good deal to be said about them. None of it nice. You hear tales now and then of Jotun guards and Jotun soldiers. I'll believe that when I see it. Brutes! Tirskotta mine is full of the little filchers. If you ask me, they're worse than the Jotun. It seems the old Ragnar had some wisdom in that slab of a skull. Kept a shrewd balance between infighting and angering his neighbors. But now he's dead, and the new Ragnar fancies the warpath. But that won't be good for anyone. Tirskotta mine cuts into the hills of southeastern Menethil. I don't know where in the mine the clan totem is kept, but it is there.